Ada Onowu spoke extensively about the happenings and her opinion and reaction over what is playing out in most recent time. She revealed the position of Ngozi Orabueze that the bloody mess up that led to the death, unnecessary death of the Biafran Defense Force corps in Enugu. And of course, he raised an important submission that Ngozi Orabueze decided to change the generals for whatever reason best known to her, and to replace them with those who already has been expelled by the Prime Minister, pitching the enemies of Simon Ekpa against Simon Ekpa's structure by reinstating Catapilla and Sapele, who, according to Ada Onowu, believes that they have killed Biafrans on several occasions, betrayed the cause of Biafra and Mazi Simon Ekpa. She decided to form alliance with them and to dump those who have the support of Simon Ekpa for whatever reason best known to him. And she also expressed concerns and worry. Why should Ngozi Orabueze lie to her that she is supplying all the basic logistics needed for the men on ground, according to her? But she later discovered that those words of assurance was mischievous and falsehood that led her, of course, to withdraw and distance herself from Ngozi Orabueze by the testimony of BT0AGE and being confirmed by General Gento the Yahoo that nothing is coming to them since 3 months, and the rest of them, why the needed reinforcement is not coming. And he also said that when the Biafrans remain on the ground, we are fighting against the enemies or invaders of the Biafran territory in Enugu. The Catapilla, who was the captain or commander of Ngozi chose to be her commander, ensured them that there is going to be reinforcements, counting on his words and the words of Ngozi Orabueze. They waited until they run out of ammunition, and eventually they were sabotaged, and eventually all of them were killed. When Gento was saying that in his latest video, I never knew, because we don't know anything except the one way come for social media. It was Ada Onowu that made the clarification. I now understood, okay, is that what Gento then was referring to? That what she did to her men, the men on ground in Enugu, will never be forgotten. Wow, this is quite interesting. Well, let me leave you with this video. You watch, and of course, let me know your own reactions over this heavy, powerful revelations and speech made by a great woman.
Onowu gave us instruction for you to be the surrogate. That was why I supported you. Yes, I went with Onowu's sword. But now Onowu has said, fall back to the order. Go back. Let's go in-house and finish everything. And now you're questioning it. Do you have to pick and choose which orders you take? That's not the way the world works. If you can submit to being his surrogate, why would you not submit to him telling you? If it is not true, when he comes out, he will have to deal with it. Remember, I will talk to you. I said to you, all these things you're doing, does Onowu know about it? You said yes. She said something about changing the generals, them reporting to her, and so on. So I said, let us, Madam COS, why don't you focus on administration and let the men focus on the men on ground and defense? Because you see the military people, I raised one. I know how they think. They don't see the civilians as human beings. They call us bloody civilians. So I said, why don't you allow? And we were arguing back and forth. She said no. And that she's going to change the generals. I say, no, do not change them. Let's leave that until Onowu comes out. He is the one. He'll be coming out. We're not acting like he's never going to come out. You know, let's leave it for him to handle it. But we kept arguing back and forth. And then all these are happening in December. I can't tell you the exact dates at this time. So all these were happening in December. So now she did not oblige, and I have had times privately I will try to advise her that no, she doesn't want to heed to any advice. She says what she wants to do, that she will be overseeing everybody. I said, why don't you give them the instruction, the Onyami and Nkwocha, the defense minister, and tell them what they will tell the men. And when they meet with them, they'll bring you backward. He said, no, it must go through her. So we argued back and forth. Eventually, I gave up. Then another one was when she had a virtual visit. I was already getting all tired with all I'm hearing, men being killed and so on. It distresses me. I can't handle it because I saw what happened in 1966. So when all these killings come, it triggers something in me. It reminds me, and then I'll start having panic attacks and so on. Some of you don't understand what we saw during the war, how heads were cut off, women coming from Plateau in the train, and then they're carrying their husbands with the heads cut off close to them, and then the Gala people and so on, they push down the train, and then they massacred the women again. My dad came back it was by God's grace that he came back with only the shirt on his back. So all this, I know all what's going on. And I've been in this struggle for so long. I say na onye nwanyi buzo no adi na ke wenkwonkwite. And if I okay je don anifo, what am Maria? So I tried my best. I talked to Dr. Orabueze. It wasn't working. I advised her. She wouldn't hearken to it. I got the message of Butuzo. Let me tell you guys, Ikonso didn't have to die if he had stayed abroad. But because of the love the young man has for Biafra, he left and came home and told Bazi Nnamdi that he's going to work with us. He was the commander. This Butuzo was his 2IC. That will tell you the caliber of Butuzo. He's not a criminal. He's not what anybody thinks. I know what I am speaking because I was in all these things. I have been embedded in these struggles. I know. So I know. So when Ikonso died, Onyendu did not even grieve his parents as much as he grieved, to show you the love and the commitment Ikonso had. Onyendu said it will take 2,000 heads to bury that young man. And Butuzo now stepped in his shoes. It took so much. I'm in the know. It took so much to convince Butuzo to even work with autopilot. Madam Azoka played a key role. It took so much to get him. And then he started working. And then they started building the camps and everything, working, everything. Initially, they were killing our people. Now, after they have set up everything, now everything is working. We have to be moving up. We don't have to, we go one step forward, we go 11 steps backwards. No, that's not how the world works. The world is not static that you come and you stay here. The world is dynamic. You move with time. So now, Butuzo and his group, they have established this and doing a fantastic job. We were sending this money, funneling this money through Success, because Success, when Onowu would be speaking, Success will come, they'll be speaking their language. And you see the camaraderie, you see the rapport. All these were what I mentioned when I spoke to Dr. Orabueze about not taking off not changing anything the PM has. Let her leave it at that. I mentioned Success too. That you remember I told you I voted against him for him not to be, but when I later went back on hindsight, I knew what it means. Yes, you can't come and start getting new contacts to start doing those things. These men will be exposed, and then the enemy will now know them. It's good to just, like Onowu will always say, consistency is the key. So now, what's his name? Success was the one Onowu preferred to be working through. So I hammered on this. After I spoke to Madam Sears, leave it alone. I even spoke with Onyami. I told him, you're a military man. You know how it goes. Why don't you speak to the Sears? By then, I had already taken myself off. I wasn't communicating with them anymore. December was last. I was with Dr. Orabueze and the group. I took myself off everything. So now I went through Onyami. I say, Onyami, you are the deputy. Talk to her so that you guys can go. You know everything about rules of engagement. You know all these things. So convince her so that she will just allow the men to do this and not get involved in it. Onyami told me he will get back to me. Till date, I haven't heard from him. Then come to the issue of Catapilla and Sapele. When we were with the PM, Dr. Orabueze, you are the COS. You know everything Catapilla did. He killed our men. He killed the ASN. Onowu did not want him anymore. He left with 5.8 million. He absconded. That's the money to buy ammunition. And then Sapele killed our people, put them in container, did the havoc he did with them. And then now I heard that you want to make Catapilla the commander. So I spoke to Dr. Former. I told him, you know, because I know Dr. Former is in the cabinet of Dr. Orabueze. So I said, I was going through him. I said, that tells you I was not there, but I was still there. Because as a mother, it breaks my heart. Our children being killed, we are under existential threat and we are not realizing it. Is it because we are in America? We are safe. We have 4 walls protecting us. We can go to party and leave and come back 1 a.m. Nobody stops us. We forget that these children back there are dying. They have not enjoyed anything. So I told Dr. Former, you are a highly contributing member. Talk to Dr. Orabueze. Do not use Catapilla. He is a monster. He is a killer of our people. Dr. Former confirmed with me that he is a killer of our people. And I was expecting him to get back to me after he would have spoken. Till date, I never heard from Dr. Former again. So I wrote to him that my heart is broken. See, hearing what happened in Enugu, where these children were trying to defend our land. They were told reinforcement was coming, and they were fighting with the limited ammunition they have. If they knew support will not come, a good military person will start retreating. But these kids were fooled into that Catapilla was bringing something to them, and he never showed up. And we lost all these guys. I cried. I wrote Dr. Former, my heart is broken for these children that are being killed. Why would we have to allow this to keep going on? Yes. So I wasn't too happy about resurrecting Catapilla. And then I'm looking, I'm seeing things that are going on. When they said the 40 states, they did something they did in that bush. Could you believe we are Biafrans? We are proud people. We're intelligent people. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unveiled the ASN, we were laughing from cheek to cheek. We were so proud being an Igbo, being a Biafran. And then when I saw what was going on like child's play, and to hear that those administrators took 80 million for that, this money we could be putting to buy things for our men, it really broke my heart. I'm saying, what is going on? So I was still in the wings watching. And then Butuza, they played a voice where he was saying that Dr. Orabueze is not giving her any penny. I said it can't be true, because when I spoke with Dr. Orabueze, she told me that, although they're sending money to the men on ground, they talk with them, whatever their needs are, within 48 hours they've sent it. I believed her. So when I heard that from Butuza, I'm now trying to know what is going on. Am I in a daze? What's going on? She spoke with confidence that she's doing it. This other person spoke with confidence that they are not getting it. Still, I sat back watching. One thing Biafrans will know, it's not I don't know who's speaking. It's something within me that is the appointed time to speak. When it's not the appointed time, that was the first question I asked you guys. Why now? Why not now? You don't go before it is time. Because when you do that, you will not succeed. God allowed me. At times, God could be talking to us. We are not getting it, and then he would set up scenarios that will enable you see what he's trying to do. It's like having wisdom. The Bible tells us when you have wisdom, ask God to give you understanding. Mine, at a time I had wisdom, I lacked the understanding. So the events of that video brought my understanding and reset my brain and brought me back through the Holy Spirit. So now, when I watched that video, General Gentler Yahoo was saying that they're not getting a fading, a naira or whatever from Dr. Orabueze. I said, no, this can't be. And then the Spirit reminded me, the Bible says, in the mouth of two or more witnesses, the truth is established. So now, I came to terms. Butuza has said it. I was still doubting it. Now, General Gentle came with it. So now, my question is, we are contributing all this money before they took Onowu, and all this money that Biafrans are contributing. My question is to Dr. Orabueze, who are you giving that money? Because Butuza and Gentle said they're not getting it. When Onowu was there, they were getting it. So who are you giving that money? Is that, did you have a false phone number to connect to them, or what is going on? That's the question that was triggered after I watched that. And then I could not get myself together. I decided to do a midnight to ask God, what you're leading me? Are you leading me to go talk to my people? So when I speak truth to power, because I know the implications that where 2 or 3 are gathered, as we are all here, God is in our midst. He is hearing everything, and he knows whether Onowu is lying or not. And moreover, the Bible says that there are 7 things God hates. One of them is a lying tongue. And liars belong in the pit of hell. I wouldn't want to go to hell for Biafrans. No, I wouldn't. So what I'm telling you guys as it is. So now, and my question still remains, Dr. Orabueze, where is all this money? I know you gave 80 million to the administrators to do that thing they did over there. I know Catapilla ran away with over 30 million because you did not hearken to advice. Because if you had listened and know not to use Catapilla, we will not be losing that money. So I am here to speak it as it is. Anybody who doesn't like, fine. But you know, Ezekiel 33:6-8 says, if you see something wrong, somebody doing a thing that is not right, and you don't tell them, God will hold you accountable. But if you tell them and they continue, God will exonerate you. I wouldn't want to be in that position. That's why I'm speaking out. I've been doing this behind the scene. You guys don't know. Those of you cussing me out there, which I don't have any anger towards you people, because if I'm wrong, you won't blame them. But after today, after laying this foundation and telling you guys, and you still go ahead and do and cuss me out or do the wrong thing, because if you know what is good and you don't do it, it is sin for you. I'm standing here to say that if we know what we're supposed to do and we don't do it, it will be sin for whomever is doing that. I'm just a watchman. I'm just a watchman delivering what I have been told to deliver. So now the question still remains, Dr. Orabueze. Onowu gave us instruction for you to be the surrogate. That was why I supported you. Yes, I went with Onowu's sword. But now Onowu has said, fall back to the order. Go back. Let's go in-house and finish everything. And now you're questioning it. Do you have to pick and choose which orders you take? That's not the way the world works. If you can submit to being his surrogate, why would you not submit to him telling you? If it is not true, when he comes out, he will have to deal with it. Remember, I will talk to you. I said to you, all these things you're doing, does Onowu know about it? You said yes. And then I would tell you, talk to Uche, because just like Maazị Nnamdi Kanu loves Uche before, who later betrayed him, Onowu has so much confidence in Uche Obi, Maazị Uche Obi. I told you, he's a foot and eye on the ground. Go through him, let him go to the attorney, and then they will give Onowu the message. I retired from the Orange County Sheriff System. I know how it works. You can even get deputies to bring in things they're not supposed to. And moreover, you know, so I told her that she countered that. Whatever advice I will give her, at a point, I just threw my hands up. I cannot keep trying to make water run uphill. And when he calls me, I decided I wasn't answering anybody anymore. I cut off everybody. Before then, I have told him, I have told Dr. Orabueze, that all these things you're doing, you know, Onowu, when he comes out, if he told you that it has to be Maazị Ogenkere that should continue while he's there, you doing the everyday work, you know what? Onowu doesn't care. He would disgrace everybody. And if I'm in the cabinet, he starts doing that, I will just exit. I will power down my phone. These are all things I told her. And I won't be part of the insult. Onowu is old enough. I took him as a son. Yes. I took Onowu as a son. And he has respect for me. I have respect for him. He knows when we come to the cabinet, if things are going wrong, I will say, there was a time I said something. He said, oh, I don't know. Okay, even more now because my fault. Onowu said that. Okay, from now on, we will start doing this. Yes, that's the kind of human being he is. And whenever I call him, he doesn't wait for second ring to pick it up because, you know, I don't call him unnecessarily. When I call him, he knows it is important. That's why I'm calling him. And him being taken affected me so much because I see him like my son. It affected me. And then we are not doing anything. What are we doing to get him out?